All right, we're recording. I needed to start it early so I can make sure we get that in, right?
Right.
How are you, Maurice? You have a good week?
Yeah, I did. Just trying to make things, happen, being at home all the time.
Yeah. Yes, I know how that can be. But hey, we're learning how to adjust, right?
That's right. Everything has an adjustment. So life is not going to stay the same.
No, it won't. It won't. And to be honest, we probably wouldn't like for it to. So I was talking to a lady a couple days ago, and I was asking, and I will ask you to, what C are you using? Are you creating? You communicating? You connecting with people? And she told me, she said, you know what, Michelle, right now I am coasting. And I said, coasting? She's like, yeah. She's like, you know what? I am just trying to relax. She said she's a teacher. She has two young boys, a first grader and a fifth grader. She is a student herself. She's working on a master's program. So she's like, girl, this is overwhelming for me right now. So she's like, she said that she has saw a post or something online that said, if you don't come out of COVID-19 with a side hustle, a new business, new training, or something that you're doing, then you lazy. And she said, I ain't lazy. I am working and overworking, because now I got to educate myself. I got to work with my kids and educate them, plus I educate students. That's part of my job. She's like, hey, can't nobody just make no blanket or general statements that fit everybody's situation.
That's the truth. And this is making me do stuff, I've been putting out for a long time, trying to figure out, how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do that, as far as this marketing, even with this book thing, kind of get on, get out there and put your face out there. I just been kind of holding back from that. And, now, it's just kind of making me do it. I can't just walk out and go shake hands with somebody and network with them. It's going to be on this computer.
Yeah, you know what? I have seen a lot of very creative ways that people are getting themselves out there. I've seen art doing their book launches they're doing book signings online, they're doing meetings and stuff, touching base with connecting with people, and they're doing it all online. And it's like, you know what? Hey, if this is the resource and the tool that now is engaging people, we're gonna engage it too. So no, I'm glad to hear that, Maurice.
Yeah, you got to do it. It's just like you're gonna get left behind if you don't. It's just like
that's the truth.
Business is being ran online, and people I think from this, people gonna get used to conducting business online, and a lot of the brick and mortar stuff is they're gonna be in a little bit of a pain and trying to pull things back together and get people back out, because they're so used to, well, why can't we just do it, online?
Virtual.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can just visit with you on Zoom.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know. I was looking at the guy who, the founder, CEO of Zoom, and he was talking about, COVID-19 has been a huge blessing for them as a company, because a lot of people have had to switch their resources over to using a virtual platform like this. And, we got to get ready. Everybody kind of has to get ready, because of course they weren't expecting that. That wasn't anything that they were forecasting or expecting, but they were ready when it came. And so, anywho, so I'm glad. So I'm gonna just do an intro, and look, we gonna keep talking. How about that?
That sounds good.
All right. Well, hey, this is Michelle, guys. You know that we are doing Let's Connect sessions with Purpose Publishing, and we are meeting I am introducing to some, presenting to others, some of our authors. And today I am talking with Maurice Martin. Hello, Maurice.
Hello.
I'm excited to have Maurice here with me today. He is the author of Mending the Heart You've Broken, a man's guide to strengthening and rebuilding his marriage. Right?
Right.
Yeah. You got
Yeah.
one with you?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
There it is, mending the heart you've broken. So I want to, Maurice, I'm starting with everybody. You know, we got this whole COVID-19 deal that we're dealing with. What are you doing now during COVID-19 and these stay-at-home orders? What C are you using? Letter C. Creating, connecting, communicating, conversating. What are you doing now during this COVID-19? What C are you using?
Well, besides just coping,
That's a good.
I'm actually in the creative stage. I'm trying to create and recreate some things that I've been working on. Um, Everything from creating my web page, redoing that, also creating a better presence online with some of my clients. So it's just a creative stage for me.
No, that's nice. And creating is good because during this time, you know, you do have a little bit more time and, you know, what's the best way to use it. So I'm hearing from a lot of people that they are taking this time working on their businesses, their the things that they're doing. That some things that may not have been on the forefront could have been, you know, but maybe they hadn't been working on it. So I'm glad to hear that you're kind of engaging in that too. Now, Maurice, you were telling me that you are now, before I ask that question, I want you to, why don't you share with folks who you are and what you do and kind of what made you write the book?
Okay. Yeah. I'm Maurice Martin. I'm a lot of things, but for the for the purpose of this talk, I'm actually a coach, a marriage coach. I'm also a mentor. For years, my wife and I have coached marriage couples with their relationships when they got in some troubled times, or if they just wanted to talk to someone to, you know, sometimes you just need to talk to somebody to rekindle the fire or keep things going in the right direction. We've also done a ton of premarital counseling. There's no way you can get into something like a marriage and not have all the tools that you need to go through that, making that decision process. And then what sparked me to write the book was really the fact that my wife and I, you know, we've been married now for almost, well, Monday will be 35 years. And
35 years, that's fantastic.
yeah, 35 years. And, you know, when we first got married, we didn't have counseling. We didn't have coaching. We didn't have a process to help us before we got married. We had about a 30-minute session with the pastor, and that was pretty much it. And we had to figure out things on our own. And so the 35 years, you know, we had some ups and downs. We had some hurdles, some challenges, everything, you know, you name it. And so somewhere in there, we had a huge challenge and caused me to sit back and really think about my role that I played in it getting to this point. And so at that point, you know, I started asking God, you know, hey, you know, how do I fix this? Or God, really, I was telling God to fix it. I was like, hey, Lord, you need to fix this. You need to fix this woman. You know, I'm, you know, doing everything I can. And God just simply told me, he said, it's not me that broke it. You know, you're the one that broke the relationship. You're going to have to fix it. And I took that, you know, and said, you know what? You're right, God. I did do it. Now, he let me know he would help me if I sought him out for his help. But at the same time, there was things that I was going to have to do in order to make things change. And so I started thinking about it. I said, well, I'm going through this process. Somebody else is going through the same thing. And so I started writing some things down, what it took for me to get from this point to this point, some changes I had to make. And I said, there's a lot of other men need to know what's going on with this process. And so I wrote the book. And so I'm hoping that in writing this book that I'll be able to help some of those men and even women, because it's not always the man that's doing the hurting. It's sometimes those women are hurting those men too. And and how to fix that is not an easy process. It didn't take you, and I tell my couples all the time, I say, you didn't get here overnight, so you can't expect it to change overnight. So
Right.
it's a process. And so, yeah, that's why I wrote the book, because I wanted to be able to help as many people as I could.
No, I think that's good. And I like the fact, one of the things that caught me, Maurice, when we were even working on it, was that this was coming from a male perspective. There's a lot of women that have written books on, what men can do and knowing how to handle women and these kinds of different things. But I was glad to see an African American man, writing on, making some changes or fixing some areas that we have upended a little bit, but God giving you the power to be able to do it. I know when we had talked, the last time we talked, I had asked you, well, Maurice, a lot of times people say, they go to God and ask and expect God to do all the fixing, not expecting that there's anything that they have to do. Why don't you share a little bit about what you shared with me on, you have to do there's some practical steps that you have to do. God's just not going to fix it all for you and you not have to do anything.
Yeah. And then that's important. It's not easy for men to fess up when they've made a mistake, or when it's their fault that something's happening. We often think that we can just, especially Christians, we feel like we can just pray, God's going to handle everything, and, we ain't got to do anything. But everything that's going to be, when God gives us he always gives us promises, like in the Bible. But every promise that he gives us, there always comes a condition. One of the big scriptures that you hear today, a lot of preachers are talking about, the scripture says, if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves, seek my face. And he said what he would do is he would heal the land. And so we focus a lot on what God would do, but the beginning of the scripture said, if my people would. So there's some things that we have to do in order to get this process going. Now, God is of course, he's going to do his part, but we have to there's always a piece that we have to do.
Right.
And it's just like with one of the things in my book I talk about is listening with your heart versus just listening with your ears. We can hear somebody saying something, but are we truly listening with the intent to change? And
right.
So now that part is not left on God. That part is on us. We have to do that part. And sometimes I used to listen to my wife. She'd be talking, and I would be like, yeah, okay, babe, okay. But I'm not really listening with the intent to understand where she's coming from. And so if I'm not doing that part of the process, how am I going to ever mend that part of the communication if I'm not doing my part?
Right. No, I think that is super important. And you're right that you said a pivotal word, which was intent. Because a lot of times we're listening for our turn to speak. We are listening for we're listening, but kind of like you said, not really listening with heart, and if it is not our intention to really do anything with what we have listened to or what we have heard, then nothing will change. So I think that's so important, and I encourage men, as much as I can, to pick up the book, because I think that it's a benefit and a blessing coming from another man. I really do. And so I'm glad that you wrote the book. And I was going to ask you also, you guys are going to be hitting 35 years here on Monday. What does your wife say about the transformation? Or what does she say about you being changed? Everybody's always looking at, was there a real good result? Was she saying that there was a good result from what you're sharing with other people in the book?
Yeah. But I tell you, this has been a great experience. I put it like that, to hear her speak, because we often, when we talk to other couples, she'll shock me with some of the things that she says about me, because you don't always sit down with your husband and tell him, oh, you're just this and oh, you're just that. Especially as, I don't know, Black couples sometimes have a problem with that. But anyway, but to hear her say things about, well, my husband used to do this, but he doesn't do it anymore. Or he, now he listens to me, or those things that I hear her saying lets me know, how far I've come. And so she is definitely an advocate for the book and the things that we've been through. And she's a witness to the things that we went through. And I can tell you now, we haven't gotten, to perfection yet, and we're still working on that. I don't think anybody has. But
no.
But she'll always say, yes, I definitely see your effort.
No, that's good. We want to see the effort. No, I think that's a blessing. Maurice, so I want to make sure that we get this in. People can connect with you. Give us the ways that people can connect with you.
Yes, absolutely. They can connect with me online on my website, which is mauricemartin.online, mauricemartin.online. Or they can actually link up with me on Facebook, which is at Maurice Martin Ministries, or Twitter, which is the same, at Maurice Martin Ministries. So everywhere there's a social media account, I'm there. Just type in my name and you'll find me.
And we will find you. Well, awesome. And Maurice, you told me you've got an office too now up north where you're doing some of the marital coaching. So if people need to reach out to you as a marital coach, if they want to get copies of the book for themselves or book club or clients, they can certainly reach out to you. It has been a pleasure, Maurice. I love talking to you. Glad we have this time to do this again.
Yes.
Any last things that you would want to say or want to share with anybody, or kind of a closing thought?
I would definitely, if this message goes out during this time that we're all locked in and shut in, I want to encourage the couples that, I know this is hard times because they're not used to being in the same place for 24/7. You at some point you go to work, the other one may go to work, and then you come home. But now it's causing some challenges being together all the time. I just want to say, hang in there, buckle down, and use this time to learn more about your spouse and how you can be more bonding rather than abrasive, because we become abrasive when we get frustrated because we can't go out or we can't do this, we can't do that. But use this time to band together.
And that's a good one, Maurice. Well, thank you. This has been Michelle Guines with a Let's Connect session with Maurice Martin. And I am so glad that you joined us today. Tune in next time and see who else we're talking to. Goodbye. Have a good day, everybody.